Figuring out how to edit this video took a lot longer than actually making the drawing, but here we go. It's going to be a learning curve. Whenever I start drawing, I begin with an undersketch, just trying to find the big basic shapes. I like this one. I'm going to be drawing a hyena today. I like the large sweeping lines that we have here. A lot of elegant motion. I like this foot a lot that I'm working on. It's curved, just like she's going to stand up, but also like she can't decide whether she's going to lay back down. So there's a sort of tension there in the pose. I also like the rhythm that I'm finding in the muscles around her chest and legs. There's these smooth curves in among these really sharp angles, so I like that contrast. Sometimes when I'm doing the undersketch, I also try to block in the big shadow shapes as well, so you can see me doing that on her belly and kind of in between her front legs here. This is just to help me figure out where the light and darks are going to go and kind of build my shapes that way. Let's see, next I'm going to work into the head a little bit more. The head's a really interesting part, and so I try not to do it right away, kind of save it like a snack for halfway through. Again, looking for that mixture of curved and sharp lines, going in with a few darker areas, looking into the back leg here. Sometimes you want your shadows to stand out on the shape as separate than another shape, and other times you want your shadows to blend into an overall shadow. So that's what I'm doing with this back leg here. I'm letting part of it blend into the belly area because I can't see it well enough to distinguish it as a shadow all by itself. It's got to be part of this overall shape. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm about ready to start my ink layer here. No, I'll get a little bit darker right in here. Yeah, that's nice. I like the shape of her neck a lot too. It almost reminds me of a giraffe, the way she's perked up looking. Now I'm going to begin my ink. I'm going to start with the ear because it's a nice simple shape, just a couple geometric lines, and getting into the shadow kind of underneath the ear. This big bold line for her forehead just swoops down to her nose. I like that a lot. Almost horizontal for the chin, and going into the eye, trying to bring that to life a little bit. There's a lot of personality that comes through when you start adding the shapes around the eye as well. You get an idea of her attitude. Gonna give some more shadows underneath the chin. A lot of broken lines in this furry area where the neck hair is kind of moving around in the wind. A lot of smoother lines on the legs because the fur there is shorter and lays closer to her body. Even when I'm filling in the shadows, I try to follow the curves of the shapes so that it's not just a flat, dark area, but you get an idea of the mass of the object as well as the darkness or lightness. I like this little swoosh on her cheek. It's almost like a lightning bolt. So I darken that a little bit more than strictly necessary just because I like it. Then we're going back in here into the elbow and that paw. Again, I really like it because it gives this idea that she's about to move. Whether she's going to get up or lay back down, unclear. But there's just this possibility there. Getting into the muscles of the neck. Again, kind of following the shape of the masses of the muscles in the neck. Not just filling it in flat, but curving it around those muscles. Figuring out some more of these little light, bright lines in this fuzzy area at the back of her arm. And getting into that darker shadows in the belly. I still haven't decided yet at this point how dark I want to go in this belly and how much I want some light areas showing through. I'm going to play around, experiment with a couple different things, see what I like better. Getting pretty dark in the paw, which means the rest of it should probably get darker too. Kind of go back and forth about that back leg, like how light it should be. My light source is coming from the top right, and so I'm trying to keep that in mind as I'm filling it in so that the shadows make sense as well as the light areas. And I can't figure out what to do with the trim in the back too. Oh, here we go. We're going to go around the sides with a really dark, just flat color. This will help make the shapes inside, those really light shapes, pop. Got the shadow on the belly and the back leg kind of darkened now too. Just letting it dissolve into the shadow a little bit. Your brain's going to fill it in anyway. I don't have to define every single little part of her because your imagination does a lot of the work. I like her little mohawk, a little giraffe mohawk on the back of her head. That's probably one of my favorite things too about her. Just filling it in. Yeah, looks pretty good. I think I'll sign my name. Thanks for coming.